Hello, hello. Before I even do the introduction, all I have to say is, let's go, Eagles! 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 But on that note, guys, welcome to the Sideline Speaks with myself, Brittany Jones, alongside Jason Collins and Kevin Walker, right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Media Network. What's going on, J and K Walk?
All is well, Britt. All is well for most of us. Hey, Eagles are flying high. Eagles are flying high. Looking forward to a great show, nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm good. Our Eagles, Brit, undefeated, only undefeated team in the league, so everything's great. Feeling good. I'm with you.
I had to start it off. See, you know what? I was going to have the Eagles chant playing, but I did say, you know what? We are also on YouTube, and I didn't want to get copyrighted because you know
Yeah,
how YouTube they don't
yeah.
play about that stuff. So I figured I come on here and say the Eagles chant myself. So we 6-0, and we beat them. Who? Them what? Who we beat?
Them
Them
Cowboys.
cowgirls. No, not cowboys. Them cowgirls. They don't after that game. After all those temper tantrums, they don't get called cowboys no more. But no, but no,
She
guys.
said it,
But you
ladies and
guys,
gentlemen, not Jay or I.
oh, I'm ready today. I've been waiting for a whole year for this, guys. A whole year. Because last year, that's all I heard was how they whooped up on my Eagles. So a whole year. But you guys ready to talk some sports today?
Let's
Let's
get
do it.
into it. Let's do it.
Let's go. So we might as well start off with Sunday night football against Dallas versus Philadelphia Eagles. This past Sunday, it was a divisional showdown between the Eagles and Cowboys. What are your thoughts about this game? As we know, the Eagles beat the Cowboys. It was actually came pretty close in the second half, but it was ended up being 26-17. K-Walk, I'm going to come to you first.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned it because I was actually going to lead off with the second half as far as this game goes. I think that's where's a problem with Philly right now. They have to start their second half performance has not been up to par. And I think if they find that right team or the wrong team, depending on how you want to look at it, they could be in trouble. They have to finish games. They really do. They got up. They did the same thing against Jacksonville. They did the same thing against I forget what they think Detroit as well. They can't continue to not play in the second half. They had to start the second half the same way they finished the first half. But overall, they found a way to get it done. That defense is performing well. Jalen Hurts obviously is doing a great job in leading his team. AJ Brown is back, man. I mean, wow, what a game from him and that offensive line as well. But overall, man, I mean, what can you say, man? I just sat back and watched this game and just listen to the Eagles fans and the Cowboys fans just go back. Sometimes the fandom banter is more exciting than the game itself. But nonetheless, man, hats off to the Eagles for sure. Game that I think they definitely needed to win to solidify the talk of them being one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I agree with you. The second half, we've been having rough third quarters. It's something about the third quarters. But I will say is when they get in trouble, they go back to their identity, which is running and pounding the football. And no team, everybody knows, everybody in the stadium, everybody in the world that was watching knew they were going to run the ball. And the Cowboys or any other team for that matter have yet to be able to stop it or show they could stop it. But Jay, what are your thoughts about the game?
Look, this is an interesting one for me. I got to be real careful, K Walk, with what I say because I know Brittany's watching me and she's just waiting for me to say something about the Eagles so she can kick me off that bandwagon, K Walk. But for me, it was tough, K Walk, because the Eagles, they're my main team. But the Cowboys, they're kind of like my side chick, K Walk.
Hey, ho, whoa,
Now who's in
whoa.
the streets
No,
now?
no, no.
They really are, K Walks. It was kind
You
of
you
like
just got the Eagles
watching
card revoked.
watching
You
two
can't have
teams that you care
mm.
for go at it, K Walk.
Oh
But
wow.
nevertheless, look, I think you
When you
got to
start
give the
caring
Eagles
about the Cowboys.
you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit for the way they started the game, the way they played the game. In the first half, it looked like they were clearly the better football team all sides of the ball. But I'll tell you what, man, after that game was over, I got a text from one of my brothers. He said, if Dak Prescott was a starting quarterback in that game, the Cowboys might have won that football game. And it was just very interesting because even though the Eagles got out of there with the win, I felt like the Cowboys did do some good things in that second half to make the game interesting. So I don't know, like if you're an Eagles fan, obviously you come out of there, you feel really happy with the win. But I think the way that second half went, it also gave the Cowboys and Cowboys fans hope that, you know what, this team isn't that much better than we are if we've got all of our pieces out there on the field. So great win for Eagles, great win for our Eagles, Britt. But I think some of the Cowboys and Cowboys fans walked out of there with some confidence as well after that game.
No, they didn't. They was angry as I don't know what. Did you not see that tackle on Jason Kelsey?
I'm telling you, Britt, the Eagles had a chance to really put their foot on the Cowboys' neck, and they didn't do it.
But here's the thing. What has the Eagles done the entire season thus far? They get a big lead, and then they back off. They did the same thing this game, the same exact thing. So, and it's always going to be a close game because it's a divisional matchup. I'm not expecting for these games to be blowout games. They know each other very, very well. But I keep hearing how Cowboys, if Dak was in, they would have played a completely different defense, and we are well aware of that. You don't play the same defense that you will against Cooper Rush, the same exact way against Cooper Rush that you will Dak Prescott. You're not going to play the same defense.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I don't.
That's
so look,
true.
I like Dallas's defensive front. You know, with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. But let's be real. In that first half, they couldn't do anything. Nothing. True. And Dallas made the necessary adjustments. Unfortunately, the Eagles did not, and that's when they came back. But not for 1 second was I ever worried, because I said to myself, first of all, this is what they do. They start backing off, you know. But once they go back to their identity, which is pounding the rock, and that's exactly what they did, Dallas won't be able to stop them. And that's when Trayvon Diggs throws his helmet down and gets a stupid penalty. That's when the guy tackles Jason Kelsey. Be more mature about it. So, yes, now, the Eagles are a better team with or without Dak as of right now.
But I do think, to K-Walk's point, I do think the Eagles, you got to be careful. I mean, you say backing off, if that's what they're doing, fine, or just not playing a complete game, however you want to phrase it. But you got to be careful with that part of it, because a good team will get you if you can't put 4 good quarters together. So I do think Philly has to be careful about not finishing games or getting too conservative when they have a lead or something like that, because in the NFL, you're never really out of it. It only takes a few things to happen to let other teams back in the game. And I thought, especially because it was a division game, I would have liked to see Philly really put the knockout punch on the Cowboys and leave no doubt. And I just didn't feel like they did that. So that would be my only thing, you know, watching from a Philly perspective. I wanted to see them knock the Cowboys out, and they really didn't do it.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I was saying with those 2 games that stick out for me with the Eagles, or the Lions game when they were up and the Lions came back, and if it wasn't for that Slay interception, that pick 6, it could be a different outcome. We're talking about a 5-1 Eagles team right now, and also the Jags started off with, I think they went up 14-0 on the Eagles. Like, my point is that the Philadelphia Eagles are not putting, to Jay's point as well, is that they're not putting a full game together. And, you know, I know it's the age-old saying, you know, it's not how you start, it's not how you finish. I mean, it's how you finish. But the fact of the matter is, they're not putting they're not playing a great all-around game. And sometimes that's going to come back to bite you. And you know what? And they got to be careful with that. They got to be careful with that. You guys mentioned it in our thread that, you know, they have to clean up some things. They have to clean up some things. And that's the thing that they have to do. When they get on someone and they put that foot on the gas and they're taking it all the way, they have to continue to keep that foot on the gas. Is my point.
But here's the thing: it's week 6. They have time to turn around. They're going into a bye game. But what team thus far has played a complete game? The Dallas Cowboys have it.
Right. But at this point,
the 49ers have it. No team has it yet.
Right,
So
but at
right
this
now
point,
they
you
got
start. But yeah, it's week 6, so we're talking about we're a third away into the season. So you're starting to realize some of these teams are who they are. You know, if you're 6-0, you're a good team. Maybe you can clean up some stuff to be better. If you're a 1-5 team, whatever the case may be. But at the same point, the Eagles are not consistent. They don't play a full game, and that can come back to bite them in their tail.
I'm not,
I
and
don't
I'm
think.
not saying I disagree. I don't disagree with you. I'm not
Okay.
saying that. But what I'm saying is, first of all, give them credit for winning the game, because the Cowboys, regardless if they have Dak or not, is still a tough team, right? So that's the
Oh, I
one
agree.
thing.
I agree.
And they are the better team, regardless. Like, all I heard all week was how great the Dallas Cowboys defense was. Eagles better be careful. But who was the better defense? The
Yeah,
Eagles had the better defense. But you got Slay, CJ Gardner Johnson, and all
in
them
the first
picking
half.
off passes.
In the first half, you are. Yes, you can say
they
that.
got to pick in the second half as well. It was tough. They had to run the ball. They had to run the ball, and I blame Jonathan Gannon for backing up and lacking off, and that's what he has a tendency to do. And you hear it from Eagles fans all the time. We get on him about it. Why are you not blitzing? The front four needs help. You have to do that more often. But I'm not scared of the Cowboys right now. I'm just not. I'm just, whether they have Dak or not, because I don't think Dak is that great of a quarterback. His accuracy sometimes is completely off, as he showed in that first game. And he's coming back from a major injury on his thumb. So who knows how he'll be able to grip the football and throw the ball. They could be rushing him back too soon, so we don't know yet. But as far as the Cowboys, overrated. We'll see what happens. We'll see. They got another game. But all that matters is the playoffs and beyond that. So, but all right, guys. I'm still going to root for my EAGLES Eagles.
Was that an early rant, Brett, or no?
No, that wasn't an early rant. No. That wasn't. I promise, that wasn't my rant. It was just, it's like the Eagles don't get enough credit for the victory. Instead, it's all about Dak was gone, but all along, Dallas people were saying how great they are with Cooper Rush. Well, the Eagles shut that down. Now you wishing Dak was back, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone agrees that the Eagles obviously have a really good team. But I know for me, I just wanted to see a knockout punch, and that's what was lacking in my opinion. And honestly, I don't know that I would even agree that the Cowboys are overrated. I think they're probably about a 4-2 football team. I don't know that I'd say they're overrated. I think for them to be in the position they're in without a starting quarterback, I actually think it's pretty good, to be honest.
Well, they have a good defense. We know they have a good defense. I think their offense is overrated. Call it what it is. I like CeeDee Lamb, but clearly he was out of the game. You're a number one receiver. You got to show up a lot more than what you did this last couple games. They've been leaning so much on their defense.
The only thing about saying that they're overrated is I don't think anyone came into the season thinking that their offense was going to be special. Like we talked about that before the season. They didn't have any playmakers on the outside. Exactly. They didn't really know what Zeke was going to do. We thought their offensive line would be decent if they could stay healthy, and they lost some guys on the offensive line. So I don't know that anybody thought the offense was going to be special to begin with. So I don't know that it's overrated. I think their offense is probably playing about how we thought they would play.
Well, it's not good enough if you're only scoring 17 points a game. Eventually, your defense won't be able to keep holding people like they wasn't able to against the Eagles' offense. So you got to keep it up with you got to keep going. You got to improve on the offensive side of the ball. And Jay, you sound like a Cowboys fan, and I'm really about to revoke the heck out of your application, because a true Eagles fan, you don't support Cowboys whatsoever.
I just think you can give credit to both sides. I want to give the Eagles credit for winning the game.
Well, give them credit because they won, and that's that.
For winning the game.
And that's that.
Finding excuses.
I also
sound like a Dallas fan finding excuses right now.
I also think the Cowboys are 4-2, and they've played without their starting quarterback. I don't know that there's a lot of teams in the league that could lose their starting quarterback and win 4 out of 5 games without him. So I think they deserve some credit.
But But here's the thing: you're talking to an Eagles fan where we lost our starting quarterback right before the playoffs start in 2017.
Okay.
2017, Nick Foles had to take over for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So we don't. So all Eagles fans, we don't want to hear those excuses. That is the biggest excuse on play. If our quarterback could take us and win the Super Bowl, we don't want to hear nothing. Our backup quarterback, we don't want to hear nothing else. Nothing else.
I just think I don't know. I think if the Eagles lost Jalen Hurts, I'm pretty sure I'd hear a lot of fans saying, "Well, if we had Jalen Hurts, things would be different." So
facts.
I'm just not sure I believe that.
Not in Philadelphia, especially after what we've seen. It's all about experience. But all right, guys, that's enough of this Cowboys Eagles conversation. And Jay, I really got to evaluate your Eagles application. So people who are listening to us, let me know. My Philadelphia Eagles fans, you know how we could be. Let me know if we should keep Jay as an Eagles fan, because you know he jumps back and forth like no other.
What, Britt? So if you want to rescind my application, rescind it.
I knew that's what you wanted
to do. Rescind my application. I know my Cowboys are waiting for me to come home anyway.
Stamp. Until you get upset, they don't want you neither. You don't switch to the Eagles. What the heck? You better go to the Giants or Washington.
Take care of
Go to your side chick. Go to your mistress. All right, guys. All right. So we have two 5-1 teams in the NFC East. Yeah, I'm sorry, NFC, not the NFC East, but two 5-1 teams in the entire NFC outside of the Eagles 6-0. Who do you think is more legit? The 5-1 Vikings or the 5-1 Giants? Jay, I'm gonna come to you first on this one.
Man, this is tough because I'll be honest with you, I don't really like either one of these teams. The Vikings for me is a team that's just hard to watch, even though I know they've had some good teams over the years. They just don't appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. I think the Giants have obviously exceeded expectations, but I don't know. I don't think either one of these teams are really as good as their record says they are right now. But if you're asking me who's more legit, I'm probably going to say the Vikings, just because the whole Giants thing is so unexpected. And if you ask me who do I think could maybe maintain this longer, I'd probably say Minnesota. It's just, I'd be shocked if we fast forward another 5 weeks and the Giants win another 4 out of 5 or something. I'd be shocked if that happened. So I think the Vikings are probably more legit, but I'm not really a believer in either one of these teams.
What about you, K-Walk?
Yeah, I have to agree with Jay on this one. I mean, I was just talking to someone yesterday about the Giants. They're Giants fans, and they want to, they wanted my thoughts and opinions. Real quick, guys, before I get into it, my Yankees just advanced to the American League Championship Series. So go to my Yankees, go Yankees. There's stuff there before it, but yeah. So as far as the Giants go, it was kind of I alluded to last week. Jay is Jay's ingredients to success is you need that superstar type caliber player. I mean, you can label Saquon Barkley as that guy, but after that, who are you talking about? I mean, you're not really going to put your money on Daniel Jones. I mean, who are their receivers? I mean, there are no name receivers there, but they're winning. We get that. But like the recipe for success is not there as far as the ingredients go. I think that I picked Minnesota to win the North this year. I just believe that Kirk Cousins can get it done, especially with all of those weapons that he has around him as far as Justin Jefferson. You got Adam Thielen, a great complimentary receiver over there. Dalvin Cook. You got Irv Smith Jr. as a tight end, and you got Harrison Smith on the defensive end, just to name a few guys. So the answer to this question is that I definitely think that Minnesota is more legit. And to Jay's point, I think they'll be able to sustain this a lot longer than the Giants. I think sooner than later, the Giants will come back down to earth. Sorry, Giants fans. I know you're watching, and I know you guys always call me a hater, but it is what it is. But keep up the great work, though. Congratulations, nonetheless. Not trying to take anything away from you.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of teams will eventually come back down to earth, even including my Eagles. Same thing, including my Eagles. It's a great 6-0 run, but like we talked about, they've been having some issues in the second second half, primary that third quarter. But the Giants, it just seems like everything is just too good to be true as of right now.
Right.
And they beat some decent teams. I know they beat the Ravens, which we'll talk about later because they've been, I don't know what's wrong with them, but the Packers. So they beat some, they came close to beating the Cowboys. So I have to give them credit for that. It's just that, like you guys said, Daniel Jones is not it. Like, it's just, he can't keep running forever for them to win. And Saquon can't be the primary reason as to why they're scoring or advancing the ball and so forth. You have to be able to spread the football around. But I have to give them credit again because they have been playing decent. That head coach has them excited and ready to go each and every week. But I think right now the Vikings is a more legit team. I still don't have the most confidence in them as well. For some reason, they just don't do it for me. And I always thought Kirk Cousins was a overrated quarterback. In my mind, I know a lot of people love Kirk Cousins. I never have. But for me, if I had to choose, I would also say the Vikings are more legit. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears here. Okay. Only because the games get ready to start. Is NBA opening weekend. I'm sorry, not opening day. I said weekend, opening day. Look, our old show was on Friday, so I'm used to I keep forgetting we're Tuesday now, okay? But NBA opening day. And the first game is actually the Sixers are at the Celtics. The game starts in a couple minutes at 7:30. Right on TNT, so if you guys can catch that, watch us first, of course. Make sure you watch us first, of course. Share, like, subscribe, but watch us first. But what are your thoughts on this game? Who do you think will win? K-Walk, I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah, I mean the Sixers are, I think they look good on paper. They really do. Again, I'm mad at this. PJ Tucker, the addition of PJ Tucker, I think is going to solidify them, take them over, get them to that next step that they're trying to get to. I think we're going to see a different James Harden as well. Tyrese Maxey, man, this young kid is looking really, really good for the preseason. I caught a few of their games, and then obviously Joel Embiid is going to be Joel Embiid. He's going to give you what he gives you, the 20 and 10. Then you got on the other side, you got the Boston Celtics. They're dealing with a lot. They lost Gallinari, I believe, to the knee injury. The whole thing with Coach Yu. You want to see how they're going to perform and how that, Matt, I know that happened a while ago, so they had time to adjust to get ready for the opening night, as you stated, Britt. With all that being said, I'm going to work that the game is at. I'm sorry, guys. The game is at. Is it in Boston or is it? Where's the game at?
It's in Boston.
Okay, so I thought I had that written down. But I shouldn't even ask because it doesn't matter to me because of the fact of the matter is I really do like the Sixers in this matchup for sure. I think they have a lot to prove. I think the Boston Celtics are going to come off of a kind of a NBA Finals hangover, if you will. And I think that with that being said, I think the Sixers win this game. I think we're going to see a Tyrese Maxey put his name in the hat real quick to be an MVP candidate. I'm calling it now. He's going to put his hat real quick to be an MVP candidate for sure. So I like the Sixers tonight.
Wow. Wow. I didn't think Tyrese. I'll take it. Tyrese Maxey, MVP candidate. I'll give him all-star nod. I don't know if personally I'll give him.
Oh, he's definitely without a question all-star.
Yeah. I'll give him first-time all-star nod, of course. But I think for me, I think it's going to be a tough game. Again, another divisional matchup. They know each other very well. But like you said, K-Walk, I can never say his last name. Gallinari is out for the season. I believe Robert Williams is also out, and I know that's a big hit.
Yeah,
I don't know if Marcus Smart. I know he was injured. I know there were some issues there. He may still be playing, most likely. So they are taking a little bit of a hit now, and because of Gallinari and Williams being out, now you're kind of your depth. You're not as deep anymore. But I do like the team still. They still have Tatum, Brown. I believe Marcus Smart is playing tonight. They still got the guard Malcolm Brogdon, who I really like. Horford is still there. I just don't know. I know they have Blake Griffin. It might be time for him to hang things up, but we'll see what happens. I just don't know if it's enough to beat the likes of a Joel. The biggest thing is Joel Embiid. Who can stop Joel Embiid? And your only hope was Robert Williams, and he's out. And if you do double or triple team him, now you have shooters around him. And now, like you said, K-Walk, they got PJ Tucker, they have Montrezl Harrell and D'Anthony Melton along with Matisse Thybulle and Joel Embiid. So their defense has really elevated. But it's the first game. So we'll see. It's like, just like football, it could be a little bit extension of the preseason. So they may not play right. But I'm going to go in this with the Sixers in a close one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But Jay, who do you have?
Yeah, it's the first game of an 82-game season. Who knows what we're really going to get here? I kind of like what K Walk was saying about the Sixers roster. I mean, they do have a really good roster. I'm not as high on James Harden maybe as other people are. I'm just not sure that over an 82-game season he's going to be a really good player for 82 games. I'm not sold on him. But obviously Maxey and Embiid, I think you can count on those two guys over the course of the year. The Boston thing is interesting because I think it's either just going to go one of two ways. Like they're either going to implode, losing the NBA championship, everything that happened in the offseason with the organization, that's either going to really hurt them or they're going to try to circle the wagons and come out tonight and try to show the world that, hey, we're still okay. We're still one of the better teams in the East. So look, I think I'm going to stay on my Philly hate message tonight.
Wow.
I'm taking the Celtics tonight at home.
Wait a minute.
They're going to circle the wagons
tonight.
And I think they're going to beat the Sixers tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't
Where
know
did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're sensing the same thing that I'm sensing, but Jay seems like he's sending out a subliminal message that he's ready to break up with the Philadelphia area. I don't know what's going on with that.
And it's funny because he's right across the bridge from South Jersey, right across the bridge in Philadelphia, and he hates the city. That's crazy. So are you an Eagles fan or did you switch back to the Cowboys?
Listen, Britt,
because you said Philly hate. You said Philly hate. So now I'm questioning.
Well, I feel like I was tough on the Eagles in that first segment. I feel like I went at them pretty hard. And then I just picked Boston to beat the Sixers tonight. So I'm kind of against Philly tonight, but it's nothing personal. It's just my analysis.
It must be me, guys. It must be me. I tend to get under skins. That's that Philly fanness that comes out. We get under people's skin for some reason. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But hey, since we're talking about it and you want to continue to hate, let's give a shout out to my Philadelphia Phillies for advancing to the next round. And they actually playing the San Diego Padres tonight. And I think the conference finals now. I don't know exactly what it's called.
Yes,
the
National League Championship Series.
I am rooting for the Phillies.
So you don't hate us. You're confusing us. You're confusing us. But no, it would be nice if we somehow got the Phillies and the Yankees together, so me and K-Walk could go back and forth.
You don't want that. You don't want that smoke with us. You don't want that smoke with us.
Right. We'll take it all day.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, enjoy your Eagles right now. 1-6-0. Enjoy your Sixers tonight after they win. But when it comes to baseball,
y'all barely beat the Guardians. Stop that. Y'all struggling.
That's a good team. That's a good team over there now.
And so are the Phillies.
I'm not saying that, but y'all don't want it with us.
You don't want the smoke with us. Why? Because you got what's the Aaron Judge?
Oh, we got more than that.
They was booing him.
Yeah,
I know you got Aaron.
Go down the list. Who else we got?
Who's the other guy? I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, we got more than two. We got more than one other guy.
I know who you got. I know exactly who you got.
Let's y'all perfect. Hey, let's put a pin in this and come back and revisit because we got other topics to talk about.
I can't even interject anything here. I just realized.
That's why I said what I said, Jay.
I realized 2 nights ago that there was a team called the Guardians. I was like, who the heck are the Guardians? Like, what is this? I didn't even know what it was.
But you see how K-Walk tried to play me, right? I said, I hope our Phillies make it and his Yankees make it, and all of a sudden we don't want no smoke. All that. Let's bring the smoke. We'll take all the smoke and watch y'all go down. Let's go.
All right, bring a mask. Bring a mask because
I ain't supporting you no more.
Bring a mask and get an insurance card because you're going to need to get checked for smoking.
Your Yankees could go flame down just like your 49ers flamed out against the Falcons. How about that? No. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. We got to go to the next time. We run out of time here.
The sky's blue. The grass is green. It is what it is.
But all right, NBA, a second NBA opening day game, which is after the Sixers versus Celtics. But we now have the Lakers at the defending world champions once again, which are the Warriors at 10 p.m. Eastern, also on TNT. Again, what are your guys' thoughts on this game? Who do you think will win? Again, I know it's the first game, so it's up and down. But K-Walk, I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm off tomorrow because I want to stay up and watch this entire game because I just want to see what's going on with the whole thing with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole and how they're going to interact with one another and see what type of what type of chemistry, if any, is there as well. Also, there's the Lakers didn't make too many moves this offseason, but they're back and they're saying they're ready to go. They got a healthy AD now. They got a LeBron who's always ready to go. Then you got Westbrook as well. So we're going to see what those three bring here tonight. So I'm really going to be in tune with this game. How I see it being played, I don't know. I'm going to give it to the Lakers. Only reason I'm going to give it to the Lakers is because I just think that the Warriors are still they're coming up. They're still on that high of winning the championship last year. But it's going to be an interesting one. Nonetheless, it's going to be a very competitive game. But I'm going to take the Lakers here in a close one, just to give the media us something to talk about with the Lakers, at least something positive for now. But I'm going with the Lakers tonight.
I'm not sure about the Lakers. It's like I want to give them a chance. I'm just not sure. Like you said, they didn't do too much in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I know they want to try Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, which a lot of us did suggest last year that he should be the lead of that second unit, which I think will work well with him and the type of game that he likes to play. LeBron James, I have nothing bad to say about him. The man's almost 40 years old, still playing at a high level. But to me, it comes down to Anthony Davis and Patrick Beverly. Anthony Davis, can he stay healthy? Can you stay healthy? Have you been working on your body in the off season? Did you take advice from LeBron James? Did you eat well? All those things. Because we can't keep calling Anthony Street Clothes Davis. You're getting paid way too much money. It's time for you to get on the court. And will you take over the team? Now, LeBron has been pushing for you to be the lead of the team. He doesn't want to be it anymore. He's like, I'm getting old, so I need you to take over. So it's time for him to take over. And then Patrick Beverly, the defensive side of the ball he could bring. He's a 3-and-D guy. And I do like the fact that he will get under the skin of the opposing all-star or superstar. He will irritate the mess out and try to throw him off their game. And I think he will help. But I think for some reason, with all the media attention, I just feel like the Warriors are going to come together once again and show the world that, yeah, Draymond made a mistake. He punched Jordan Poole. I don't really know if it was a mistake. But we still brothers, and we're going to come out and we're going to show y'all that we stand together regardless. Jordan Poole just signed that huge deal, that massive contract.
And Wiggins,
and Wiggins. So they're trying to really keep the core together. So I'm going to go with the Warriors on this one. It's just something's telling me the Warriors are going to win. But Jay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going with the Warriors as well. I just think they're better. I just think they're the better team. They understand each other better. They understand their system better. They've been playing together for a long time. I just think they have everything in their favor. The Lakers, to me, are only going to be as good as their outside shooting. And I just don't know that they've added enough pieces that are going to be able to hit shots consistently from the outside. So I think LeBron will be fine. Hopefully AD can stay healthy. All that's great. But if they can't find some other guys that can shoot it consistently from the perimeter, I just don't know how good they're going to be. So I'm going to take Golden State to come out tonight and really play a good game.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we got to head to break soon. But before we do that, it's a couple more things I'm going to get into. We got to switch gears back to the NFL because once again, I don't know what's going on with this team, but once again, the Baltimore Ravens have a pretty nice lead and lost it once again. This has to be about the fourth time this season. But they lost it to the fourth quarter to the New York Giants this year. What is wrong with Lamar Jackson and this team? What is going on here? Jay, I'm going to come to you first.
Look, this is a really interesting one because when Lamar didn't sign that contract and decided he was going to bet on himself, I told K Walk, or I said, K Walk, I think it's a mistake. I would have took the money. I'm not going to haggle over a couple $1,000,000. They were off. I mean, the money he was getting was going to be really good. Maybe not everything he wanted, but it was still really, really good. And I just felt like I didn't know if he was going to play himself into that stratosphere of a contract that he was really looking for. And to your point, Britt, the way that they've looked so far, even though Lamar was playing out of his mind the first couple weeks, at the end of the day, it's going to be about wins and losses. And if they get to the end of the season and they're just a middle of the road team, I don't think that's going to justify giving Lamar the kind of money that he's looking for. So I think he made a mistake. And I'm not really sure how to pinpoint what's going on with the Ravens. Obviously, they just haven't made enough plays to win football games. But, I think some of it boils down to their inability to have consistent offense and make some throws downfield and really make – we know Lamar's great with his legs, but I've always said I want to him throw the ball with more consistency. And I'm just not sure that he's done that. I know he was great the first couple of weeks. He's come back to earth these last 2 weeks. So to me, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays going forward. Is he going to be like he was those first 3 weeks, or is he going to be the Lamar that we saw the last 2 weeks? So I don't know. I think the Ravens might be in a little bit of trouble because whatever's going on, it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy fix.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like you said, Lamar has been playing pretty decent. I mean, he did throw a pick in the crunching time of the last game to really try to get them down to win the game, to or score a touchdown in order to win that game. But it's something with this defense. I don't know. They can't make stops. I don't know exactly what's going on. And I was a little worried during the draft time where we traded up and got Jordan Davis, and they went and got, which allowed them to get Kyle Hamilton, the safety. But now I'm like, good move, Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe there's some, and granted, he's still a rookie, he's still a young player, but maybe there was something there that they noticed and preferred to take that risk with Jordan Davis, which has helped thus far. But I can't pinpoint exactly what's going on with this Baltimore team. They have a good team on both sides of the football. But they have to figure this out quick, because if they don't, before they know it, they'll be going from playoff contention to out of the playoffs. So I'm hoping that they'll figure it out. And you made a very valid point, Jay. Lamar Jackson should have decided on came to an agreement on a new contract versus waiting, because this may impact how much he gets cost in the end after this season. But K-Walk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know how much you guys can put on Lamar for, and blaming him for their loss for Sunday. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch any of this game for obvious reasons. I was at the 49er game, so I didn't really get to see this game, and I didn't really get the chance to break it down like I normally do. But I do know that Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, he really knows Lamar Jackson. He really knows what he's about. So he studied, he game planned. He went to coach the ball, and I like, listen, this is how he does. This is his tendencies, things of that nature. Not that they wouldn't have watched film otherwise, but I think we have to put some of this on the defense. You mentioned that, Britt, and that's secondary. Jay, you mentioned it earlier. You actually mentioned it not last week, but 2 weeks ago. That secondary is, has some issues there. That back end is really suspect, and I don't know how much you could put that on Lamar. I mean, Lamar can only do as much as Lamar could do. Greg Roman is going to continue to be who Greg Roman is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Greg Roman is, that's the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. He loves this type of offense. I mean, he was the same way when he was with the 49ers and when he had Colin Kaepernick. He's not going to change. He's not going to change. This is who he has. This is the type of game he's going to call. So, like you guys mentioned earlier, first 3 weeks, he was outstanding. Lamar Jackson, we talk about him being possibly the MVP after, first 3 weeks. Now these guys are starting to game plan a little bit more for him and a little better. And then when that defense is not helping them on the back end, now he's become magnified. Now he becomes the reason why they're not winning, as opposed to where they were winning. He's the guy. He's going to be, if they're winning, it's Lamar's. It's Lamar's credit. If they're losing, it's Lamar's fault. So it's rough, man. I like Lamar, man. If they can, they got to solidify that defense, man. If they can't, then it's going to be a long rest of the season for the Baltimore Ravens for sure.
Yeah, you absolutely right about that one. But they still have, like you said, there's still a ways to go, so they can turn it around. A lot of teams can turn it around because, as you can see in the NFL right now, there's a lot of middle of the road teams that the Bucks, the Packers, who thought they would be a middle of the road team, and many, many more. Who thought the Jets would have a winning record right now? I sure enough didn't. But like you said earlier, K Walk, same thing with the Eagles. I didn't think my Eagles would be 6-0. I didn't think the Cowboys would be 4-2 without Dak, and the Giants be 5-1. Everything will start to settle itself down, and teams will go back to being who we know, and things will get back to some normalcy. This NFL season has been a little bit odd, but we'll see what happens. But before we had to break, guys, I have a fun question, okay, for you guys, and I got to remember the question because I didn't write it down. I kind of just thought about this one, so you guys don't know. But you both are Division I athletes. For those who are watching, Jay and K Walk both played Division I football. K Walk was a wide receiver at Temple. Jay was a DB, I think a safety primarily, right? At Penn State. As you can see, he always wear his Penn State colors. I want to know, what was the most craziest, insane? I'm sorry, where was the most craziest, insane place outside of your home stadium that you have ever played during your college years? So if you need a little time to think about it, take a little bit of time to think about it. K-Walk, I'm gonna come to you first. I'm coming to you first on this one because you represent Philadelphia, believe it or not, because you played closer to the city. Penn State's a little bit further down the road, but not too far. So I'm gonna go closer to the city first.
Yeah, I might get hit for this, but not by choice. I did that for family purposes, but nonetheless, that's a story for another day. I'm going to say the craziest place that I played. I think that might have been Jay's Happy Valley, man.
Come on, K-Walk.
Happy Valley wasn't so happy for us, man. I mean, that's the most fans I played. It was 100,000 plus, breathing down on you. Hearing that dang Nittany Lion, I don't, just cringes when I hear it when they get a first down, another Nittany Lion first down, But anyway, it was really a crazy atmosphere. I was going to put that up there with Syracuse as well, the Dome, when I played against McNabb and Marvin Harrison and those guys. But I have to go with the Nittany Lions, man. Those fans there, man. Different animal, man. No pun intended, but definitely different animal. Wow, yeah, for sure. And I remember that being, when me first going there, and I'm thinking, I'm Kevin Walker. I'm going to get. They locked me down. They shut me up. I couldn't say anything. So definitely unhappy valley for me.
And Jay, what about you?
Yeah, I was going to say out at home. That's the best environment until you said it couldn't be at home. I think for me, I think I'm going to go with the big house. I going to Michigan a couple of times, both two really good teams playing in the big house, 100,000 people. Not really super loud there, like not maybe as loud as it is at Ohio State, but just a really good atmosphere, really good college football atmosphere. So I'll go with the big house on this one. Ohio State a close second.
And you guys are about the same age. You went to high school. Y'all played against each other, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the winning record between Temple
and
Penn State?
Why would you have to bring that up? You just said he went to Penn State, I went to Temple. You just answered that question.
Hey, well, you went to Temple.
Yeah, but Jay got me 3.
It wasn't K-Walk's fault.
I didn't play in the second year when we played in the Meadowlands at Giant Stadium. I didn't play in that game, but 3-0. Jay got me 3-0.
Yeah, we had some good teams, though. I mean, we had some teams. We weren't losing a whole lot to anybody. So.
Well, and Jay, you played for the one and only Joe Paterno, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
not too many people could say they played for him.
Yes,
but on that note, guys, we gotta take a break because it's time for Jay to take over. I know he's tired of hearing me talk, but we had some fun during my half of the show. Did you just say go Cowboys?
Did he say that? I didn't hear him say
Did you say that? It was real low, but I heard it.
Wow.
It's hard, Britt. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's hard.
And then K-Walk, when the Cowboys start showing their true colors, he gonna start saying another team again. So, all right, if that's what you want to do, that's your choice.
Britt. I'm still an Eagle.
But you can't. That's a division rival.
Yeah, they didn't sign the divorce papers yet, Britt. That's why he's still an Eagle.
I got all my friends texting me who are Cowboys fans saying, no, he got to choose. So you got to make a choice. You got till next week to make your final choice.
Give me a week. Give me a week.
Wow, Jay. They just came off of a win. Jay, you know what, Jay? Wow. You're a brave brother, man. You're a brave brother.
No, guys, we're going to take our first break, but you guys are listening to the Sideline Speaks right here on Never Had It So Good Sports Media Network, and we'll be right back.
CampLyman.com is an opportunity for my big boys to come get some work. Let's put it all together. We built from the ground up. You know, our cliche is it all starts up front. Once again, start, stance, hand placement, hand separation, get-offs, counter moves, a little bit of everything. Polish up those skills before your middle school or high school season began. Just come work on your craft. Once again, CampLyman.com.
You're inside Never Had It So Good Sports Radio with Princess Cooper, Tim Moore, David the Duck Riley, Jason Collins, Shoshana Cook, Britne Jones, Travis McGee, Eric Scott, and Kevin Walker. We make it easy to talk sports.
All right, welcome back, guys, to the Sideline Speaks with Britne Jones, Kevin Walker, and Jason Collins. We've been having a lot of fun tonight, guys. That was a really good first half of the show, Britt. Enjoyed it. Love the banter going back and forth. Let's kind of stay on this NFL topic if we can, guys. It looks like Tua is set to return this weekend for the Miami Dolphins. He's on track to get back on as the starting quarterback. My question is it too soon? I mean, we all saw what happened just a few weeks ago, the head injury, the way that his body locked up. Really scary, really, really scary. And brain injuries are tough just because it's not like something on the outside of your body where you can tell if it's really healed or not. So, okay, Walt, what say you? Tua set to return. Should he? Is it too soon? What are your thoughts?
You know what, Jay? I think it's spot on, man. To be honest with you, he missed 2 games, correct? If I'm not mistaken, he missed 2 games. So, I said that with the new protocol, what the new protocol should be, that is, if once you go into concussion protocol, you should be, immediately just shut down for 7 to 10 days. It's kind of like I mentioned with baseball. You get an injury, you're shut down for 10 days. Whether you can go or not, whether you're good to go. And I think 7 to 10 days is appropriate. He missed 2 games. So I don't think it's too soon. I think it's right on time. To be honest with you, he's going to, generally you go through that protocol, you go through things. And I think he had to go through more than you normally do, which is even better. So, yeah, I definitely don't think it's too soon, Jay. He missed 2 games, 2.5 games if you want to go back to the game against the Bengals. But yeah, I think it's appropriate. I think he's right on track. I think NFL and the Dolphins handle this exactly how they're supposed to handle it. Allow him to miss 2 games, and then that'd be that. So I love it. I love it, Jay, to be honest with you.
Britt, what say you?
This was actually a tough question for me because after the first one, I just said no, it's not too soon. But when you see somebody's body seize up the way it did, his fingers look like they were stuck. That was a little concerning. And I know there were a lot of concussion experts out there. I know the one guy, I think Will Smith did the movie about, I think that was him. I'm pretty sure. I think he said he begged and pleaded with Tua never to play football again. So that's concerning because these guys know concussions. And I've never seen anybody like that. So I'll be honest. I think I would like for him to sit out one more week. So just one more week, just to be certain. It, I know he's not going to as a competitor, and he's been cleared. So I guess if the doctor cleared him, now he got maybe second, third opinion, so he should be okay. I'm just concerned. I'm really concerned that he'll take another hit like that again in his brain. So, but I'm gonna say yes. For me, it's too soon. For the doctors, no. For me, it's not.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. I think we absolutely have to yield to the doctors and the people that really understand this thing. But I think for me, it's a little too soon as well. I would have liked to maybe see him sit another week or two, because even though they didn't necessarily diagnose that first one as a concussion, we all know that it was. So to me, it's like 2 in a really short period of time. So I would not mind seeing him sit a little bit longer just to make sure he's good. But kind of like you said, K-Walk, the doctors know best, the neurologists know best. They're obviously on top of this thing. You know, after the way they fumbled the first one, they're not going to do anything to put him in harm's way again. So they must feel pretty good about where he's at.
Definitely.
If they're going to trot him out there this weekend. So it's going to be interesting. All eyes are going to be on Tua.
For sure.
Hopefully he just stays healthy and can kind of get through the game without any further incidents, because I think that's what we all want. We just want to see him healthy and playing good football. Let's shift gears a little bit, guys. I saw Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, do a 60-minute interview the other night. And the guy asked him straight out. He said, what happens when the Power 5 comes calling? What are you going to do? And Coach Prime said, I'd be a fool not to listen. He said, I have to listen. There's been a lot of people talking about this. Some people saying Deion would be, kind of turning his back on HBCUs, kind of a hypocrite if he left. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Should Deion take a Power 5 job if they come calling? Would you consider him a hypocrite if he left Jackson State? What are your thoughts, Britt?
I don't think he's going to leave. Not yet. I don't think he's going to leave. I think he'll at least be there one more year before he takes a Power 5 job. Will he be a hypocrite? I don't think he'll be a hypocrite. I mean, he came in and he's already changing things. You know, a lot of HBCU football programs are improving. Look at he's convincing a lot of former former NFL players to be head coaches. You know, especially if you look at was it Tennessee State? They got Eddie George, and then who's that Grambling? I can't think of his name. Who's that Grambling? Ding dong! I heard a doorbell.
That's God, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
I can't. It's not coming to me right now. But I think he's making a lot of changes, and he's convincing a lot of this top tier talent it's okay to go to HBCUs. It's okay to follow the footsteps of people like Jerry Rice. You'll be in awe of how many people don't realize that Jerry Rice went to an HBCU and that's where he played. And plenty of other big time NFL players. So I don't think he'll be a hypocrite. I think he's done a lot for the program, but I don't think he's leaving just yet. I think he'll leave. I think he'll stay at least one more year because his son is there too. His son's not looking to transfer out. So his son is there. And I think as long as his son is there, I think he'll stay there.
Yeah. Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson.
I actually think he is leaving, though. I think this is his last year. I think there's jobs open right now. There's going to be more that open up as we kind of get through the rest of this college football season. And if you're an AD or a school president, how do you not pick up the phone and call Coach Prime? I don't know how you don't call. I mean, this guy has obviously shown that he can coach, number one, but then number two, and maybe even more importantly, he can recruit. I mean, if he's at a place, one of these schools that have a big name brand, can you imagine the type of talent that he's going to get walking through the door? I think this is his last year at Jackson State. But K-Walk, what say you? How do you feel about this? Would you consider Deion a hypocrite if he left?
No, definitely not, Jay. I mean, I know that the big thing is him and Coach Eddie Eddie Robinson Jr. They had that big thing, after the game and saying he's not swag, and Prime saying, Coach Prime saying he is swag. He's really, I mean, in a sense, he is swag right now. But when, as far as when you look back and see where he played ball at, he's a Power 5 guy. He's a PWI guy. As much as, a lot of these HBCU guys, people don't want to say that, being a hypocrite. Nah, I think when a Power 5 team comes calling, you have to pick up the phone, and you have to listen to what they have to offer, because there are big time names out there. There are big time schools out there that money, Prime Prime always said that, it must be the money, but Prime is going to do it, man. We talked about this on one platform, Jay. Should he go? No. Will he go? Yes, in my opinion. I think he has to pick up that phone, listen to it, because he's, like you mentioned, he's a recruiter. In a lot of senses, to use your term, Jay, he's a salesperson. He's like a salesperson. Any university or college or university you go to, you're going to sell it. You're going to have to sell that particular program, regardless of where you go. And if they're going to pay you X amount of dollars and it keeps getting higher and higher, you got to be a better salesperson. And I think that's what he's ultimately going to do. I'm not saying he's going to do it for the money, but he's going to do it because it's on his bucket list. I mean, any coach that tells you that they don't want to coach at the highest level is lying to you. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They just are. And Coach Prime is the guy. He said, if they come calling, I have to listen, which ultimately means, like, listen, if the right offer comes along, I have to take it, man. Even if my son wants to be here, hey, we got the transfer portal. The transfer portal is there for a reason. So I'm saying he's going to do it. I don't know. I won't put a time frame on it. I will say this. Within the next 3 years, let's call it this next 3 years, we'll see Coach Prime in the Power 5.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Britt.
I was going to say, K-Walk, you just alluded to, coaches want to play at the highest level. Does he really need to go to the Power 5 to play at the highest level? Just being with his, resume, his who he is as a person, can't he just skip over and go play in the NFL if he so chooses so?
If they come calling, yeah, why not? Why not? If that's offered, yeah, he said if they go ahead, Jay.
No, that's a good question. But in the interview, they asked him that, Britt. They asked him about the NFL, and he said he does not want to coach in the NFL.
I don't think he thinks he's ready. Yeah,
he said he doesn't want to coach grown men who make a bunch of money because he just didn't feel like that was his place. Like he's more in tune with trying to lead young men, not just football wise, but try to prepare them for life. But yeah, that's a good thought. But he did address that. He said the NFL is not for him. That's not something he wanted to explore. But the Power 5, I think it's coming sooner rather than later.
I agree.
Yeah. K-Walk, you said something interesting though that I want to drill down on just for a sec, because you said, should he go? No. But will he go? Yes. When you say should he go? No. What do you mean by that? Do you think he should not leave? Do you think he should stay?
I think he should stay because I think he gives the HBCUs, the SWACs, the best, the best commercial, if you will, the best audience. He brings all of that. I mean, look what he did, against Alabama State and what he did and how he sold that game. He sold it out. He sold that game. He sold that game out by him talking the way he talks, about him being Prime, about him, with the swag. I think if he stays, he should stay because I think he just brings so much attraction to the HBCUs, to Jackson State, to the Alabama States, to the Gremlins. Because look, I don't want to call it a controversy, but look at the excitement around Coach Eddie Robinson Jr. What that brought, and how highlighted that was, and what much that was in the spotlight. So yeah, I think he should stay for that particular reason because he just brings so much to the HBCUs, and I think that the HBCUs need as much attention and much money as they could possibly to have in order to compete, with the PWIs. And I think that I'm not saying that Prime could do it by himself, but he's a stepping stone. He's a guy that can start something huge. We got Hugh Jackson. Britt mentioned Coach Eddie George at Tennessee State. So yeah, I think that's the reason why he should stay.
Yeah, go ahead, Britt. Go ahead, Britt.
I was gonna say, and that's why I think he will stay for at least 1 or 2 more years, because he understands how much attention he's bringing to it. People will focus on him, who will then, through him, focus on HBCU programs and help to, bring more attention to these programs. And I don't think he's going to leave until he feels like, okay, if I leave, they're not going to leave. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so, because I think right now, I think he knows if he leaves, all HBCU programs, they're going to lose that attention. I love Eddie George. Eddie George has been one of my favorite running backs for however long, right here from Philadelphia. Went to Ohio State. That's how I became a big Ohio State fan. But he does not command that attention that Coach Prime does. So that's the big difference. So that's why I think he will stay. And I think he understands that.
Yeah, I think the impact that he's made, I don't think anyone could have predicted that, right? I mean, we knew Coach Prime was going to do great things, and he was certainly talking a lot about what he was going to do, but I did not think that he was going to have the kind of impact that he's had, not just for Jackson State, but for all HBCUs. But I don't know. To me, there's just something about, let's say, one of these big jobs open up. I just think it's going to be hard to turn down. Yeah. I really do. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm predicting this is his last year at Jackson State, but we'll see. We'll kind of see how
Coach
it plays
Prime,
out.
One more year. Just at least 1 more year, Coach Prime. Come on.
All right, guys, let's jump back over to the NFL. I want to talk about Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. K-Walk, as you know, I jumped out early and I said that this was the beginning of the end for Tom, that he was falling off the cliff this year. And I don't know that he's quite fallen off a cliff yet, but he's hanging on. He's hanging on, and his grip is getting slippery. The Bucs are 3-3 right now. Britt, is this the beginning of the end for Tom Brady?
It's not looking good right now. It looks like he better go back home and make up with his wife and say, I apologize because I made the wrong decision. Please do not divorce me right now. Yeah, I said it because he made a promise to his wife. It looked like she was right now. Go home, help raise your kids, and have a happy life. But the competitor in Tom Brady, he's not going to allow this to be the end. I feel like at the end, somehow, some way, they're going to turn it around and be in that playoff position, whether it's the wild card. I can't think who's leading the division right now. Who's leading that division? Does anybody know?
I think they may be. I think they're. I think they may be tied.
The whole division's bad.
Yeah,
but see, I'm saying they're going to get in the playoffs, and he's going to turn it around in the playoffs like he does every single year. So I don't think it's the beginning of the end just yet, but I think this will be his last year. I think after this year, he's done for sure because that team right now looks terrible. They look bad. And then he's yelling and screaming on the sidelines. He looks like a hurt man that's about to lose his wife, which is really about to happen.
Oh, man. You ain't thinking about her when you're on that field.
No. Well, look, you know how a broken heart can feel. We all know how that feels.
You don't feel that. You don't feel that. You don't feel that.
Hey, he's feeling it. He's feeling it right now, K-Walk. He's feeling it right now. But no, I'm just kidding. I hope all is well with him and his wife right now. But no, they got to get things turned around. I think they will. They're a veteran. He's a vet. Of course, he's a leader of that organization. I believe he'll stop going in to weddings on Saturdays and make sure he shows up for his teams prior to the game. But I think they'll get it turned around. Like we said, it's week 6. So we still got another, 10, 11 weeks to go. So,
yeah.
Man, Brett, I was hoping you were going to get on this theory with me that it was over for Brady.
Yeah, it's hard to go against him though.
Yeah.
Every year you try to go against him, he proves you wrong some way, somehow.
Yeah, you're right. I'm still going against him. I gotta stay on this train. Football's a young man's game, and he has defied the odds for so long. I just don't think at some point it's got to be over. And for me, that point is now. But K Walk, what say you? Where are you at on this, man? Is this it? Is this the beginning of the end?
I don't know. I know you're trying to talk me into it, Jay. I know, I'm going to agree with Britt on this one. I can't go against. I can't go against TB12, man. I just can't. I know everything that he's going on with, Giselle and everything, but when he steps in between those lines, man, and I can attest to this. I can't speak, how he handles it, but I know that the competitor that I am, once I'm in those lines, I don't care what's going on the outside world. So I'm not buying that's an issue for first and foremost, but it does look like it's the beginning and the end, because when he's not performing at that Tom Brady-esque level, we automatically go to his age, and saying that he's on a decline and Father Time is undefeated, all of that. I just think that this, as a team, they're just not getting it done. And it goes back to what we were talking about the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. I think you could put him in the same category as this. It's like you expect so much more from this type of this quarterback, and when things aren't going their way, meaning the Bucs' way in this case, you can put that onus on Tom Brady. I know it was a tough loss against the Steelers on Sunday, but nonetheless, I'm still going to go with Tom Brady. I don't think it's the big. I believe it's starting to creep up there, though, Jay. The ending is coming, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime. I think it's going to happen later than sooner. And that division as well. I mean, the Falcons are 3-3. They're 3-3. Then you have the Panthers. There's just no hope for them as well. And the Saints are still in the mix as well. So it's a very winnable division. But to answer the question, Jay, I think he still has enough to get it done.
Yeah, and look, I know, and we've kind of joked a little bit about what's going on at home, his family, his wife, all that. And K-Walk, I agree with you. I think once you step in between the lines, that's probably not affecting him. But what about preparation throughout the week? And again, this is all speculation. Who knows what's really going on with them? But Britt, if they are having some issues, if they are having trouble, if there's drama in the Brady household, if they are separated, if they are heading for a divorce, could that be potentially interfering with some of the preparation that Brady would normally go through during the week? And maybe that, obviously, once he's on the field, he's playing the game, he's not thinking about it. But is it a reach, Britt, to say that maybe that's interfering with some of the preparation?
I know the wedding is. Robert Kraft's wedding. The heck? He's a different team now. Send him a congratulations card with a gift card inside of it or whatever. Send him some flowers and make sure you are with your team. But it could be, you don't want your personal life to impact your professional life, but sometimes, we're human. So it could possibly it very much could be impacting his preparation throughout the week. We don't know what his family life, we don't know his situation with him and his wife. I know he has some stuff going on with him and his mother as well. So it's a possibility, it could be just all exploding, coming together and just is rough. So something's got to give, though. Something has to give, because it's not looking good on the field. So there's something within that preparation week, like you said, Jay, that's not clicking right now, and they have to fix it. And I think as veterans, they'll get together and they'll figure it out, especially them being tied for the number one, or they have the number one seed. They realize, okay, we have a little bit of time, a very small window right now, but we have to get it together fast.
Yeah, I agree. And again, it's all speculation. We obviously don't know what's really going on. I think the silver lining for them, K-Walk, is kind of like you pointed out, the division isn't very good. Right. So even though they're 3-3, it doesn't look like there's any team in that division that's really going to run away with it. So they're going to be in the thick of things. I'm just hoping, just so I can be right, that thing falls apart. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, we don't have too much time left, and we still got a few things to get to, but let's take a minute and do our weekly college football segment. K-Walk, you put some good money down last week, and it paid off big. Tennessee beats Alabama.
Wait,
What
K
were your
Walk.
thoughts on that game, K Walk? As
You gotta say it one more time. You put money on
he
what?
balled out as well.
You put money on what, K Walk?
Yeah, that was the only time that I was allowed to put money on a hooker, man. And that hooker went to Hyatt, and it came out. Came out to the Hyatt and did his thing, man. did his thing. Hey Jay, I didn't make this up, Jay. I'm not making this up. You know this. That hooker to Hyatt, man. You know that's something that it generally goes down pretty well, and it did on Saturday. It did on Saturday, man. So hats off to Tennessee for sure. I did not practice that, ladies and gentlemen. And believe it or not, I did not practice that. But yeah, I mean, hats off to that team. I mean, Tennessee, they came out and they played a heck of a game. Fought them all the way down to the end, last second field goal to win it all. And, controversial interception at the end there in the end zone that would have sealed the game for Alabama. But nonetheless, they overcame that. Now, is Alabama? They're still in the hunt, if you will, for the SEC championship. I think it knocks them out right now for the national championship, especially if these other three teams the other four teams right now that are in the top four continue to play well. But great game, man. Just an outstanding game. And again, Hyatt, that dude is unbelievable, man, for real.
Yeah, man. He had a great day. Great day for Tennessee. Yeah. Britt, what say you? I know we all kind of picked Tennessee last week, but were you surprised they actually were able to get the job done?
I was surprised because Bryce Young actually wasn't that hurt.
Yeah,
he's pretty healthy. I thought if Bryce Young was going to be hurt or out, then they would maybe struggle a little bit because I wasn't sure if they could keep up with Bama's offense. But they proved me wrong, and Bama's defense couldn't stop Hooker to Hyatt. I like that now. I like that. So they couldn't stop that connection, but also the penalties I think hurt them. Also, I think they had 17 penalties for 130 yards,
29 yards.
Yeah, that's unheard of for a Nick Saban team. So that's something they really had to clean up. But the defense has to be able to make stops if they want to advance to the NCAA championship, I believe. And they have to win, I think, from here on out to even be able to compete for it. So we'll see. But because Bryce Young was healthy, I am shocked.
Yeah, Britt, that's a great point. I did not expect Bryce Young to look that good. I thought if he played, he was going to be compromised. I was shocked that he looked as good as he did. But you're right about the penalties too, Britt. This is the second time we've seen Alabama against Texas. They had a bunch of penalties and almost lost. Against Tennessee, 17 penalties, couldn't overcome it. That is not characteristic of the Nick Saban football team. So it'll be interesting to see if they can clean some of that stuff up going forward. All right, guys, we reached that point of the show where it's time to get some things off your chest. And I got to be honest, I'm going back and forth between two different rants. I have a rant that I had prepared, ready to go. And I'm thinking about going in a different direction, but we'll see. But K-Walk, I'm gonna start with you, man. You get 1 minute. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart, this is your opportunity to get it off your chest with your 1 minute rant.
Yeah.
You got the timer on you. We'll stop you after a minute. But K-Walk, the floor is yours. Take it away.
All right, I talked about my Yankees advancing to the American League Championship Series. Josh Naylor, if you're out there, big man, I'm ranting towards you. You don't bite on the tail of a dragon. You just don't do it, son. You know, you hit a home run off of one of the best pitchers in the game. You only brought the deficit from 4-0 to 4-1. You didn't walk off. You didn't tie the game. You didn't take the lead. You cut the deficit from 4-0 to 4-1, and you're going out there and you're doing this, and you're saying, I'm your daddy. I'm your daddy. Look where you at now. Your daddy's going to work tomorrow, and where you going? You going home. You going to bed. So Josh Naylor, see you, Naylor. I'm done.
Good stuff, K-Walk. That was good. And under a minute, too. That's big time, K-Walk. Good job there, man. That was good stuff. All right, Miss Jones. It's your time. Whatever's on your heart. Chance to get some things off your chest. Hopefully this ain't no cowboy rant, but we'll see. But Britt, the floor is yours. I'm watching the clock. Take it away.
It wasn't going to be a Cowboys rant, honestly. But since I don't know if this person in the comments is related to Mr. Jason Collins, our brother, our special other co-host here, Bill Collins want to talk about, the boys will represent the NFC in a championship game.
That's right.
You sound like a daggone delusional Cowboys fan that can't get it for the last 26 years. I'm not even sure if I was born yet. I was, but I don't remember anything. Who remembers? Half y'all Cowboys fans don't remember all the way back. Have y'all not forgot the last 26 years when y'all have expectations, and they let you down each and every single year? You ain't going to be representing nothing except for the great couch that you have at home. Represent that. How about you do that? And get rid of that ugly, horrible, horrific star, America's team. America don't want to be represented by no losers. Come on now, stop that nonsense. Stop it. And I'm coming at all the Cowboys fans and all the people in the media prior to the Eagles game who said we had to worry about the Cowboys defense. Do we still got to worry about them right now? Do we still have to worry about them right now? Please answer that question. No? And I got one more thing to say because I know my time is up. And it's about up right now, but I'm going to get this last thing out about these bandwagon Cowboys fans. And I'm going to read it from what Jason Kelsey said recently. He said, Philadelphia is this extremely localized, diehard fan base that is authentic to all of them growing up together in a community. And we are. Majority of the Cowboys fan base is built on commercialism and pop culture, meaning y'all fake. Y'all fake. Y'all ain't no real fans. And I'm coming at each and every one of y'all. Time.
You went over, Britt. I had to cut you off. You went over. Man.
So she took the time I didn't use, huh, Britt?
Yeah. I took his time. I took K-Walk's time.
And she came for Billy C, K-Walk. She came for Big Brother Billy C. You know,
it's all love, Billy C. All love.
I was going to do a Penn State rant because you guys saw him just get absolutely destroyed on Saturday, but I got to switch it up. I'm going to start now, and I'm going to rant about the Philadelphia Eagles and their fans. The Philadelphia Eagles have one Super Bowl in their illustrious history. One Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, they feel like they're the class of the NFL or the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys are America's team for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, so you're a Cowboys fan now. I'm interrupting this rant.
Britne went on some little talk about the culture of the Eagles fans and that the Cowboys fans were based on commercialism. Philly has some of the worst fans in sports. I've seen them throw snowballs at Santa, boo their own starting quarterback. They will turn on you in a minute. They love you if you're winning. They hate you if you're losing. Philly fans, calm down. 5, last time I checked, is greater than 1. And the Cowboys are still holding 5 Super Bowl championships. You got a lot of work to do before you catch up.
Yeah, but can you remember those 5 championships?
Hey, Britt.
No. I'm continuing this right now. Because now
you don't get to respond to my rant, Britt.
K-Walk, your Eagles fan base application has officially been revoked. You chose your side. You chose your side. You heard that, right?
Before you fired him, Britt.
Huh?
I think he resigned before you fired him.
I'm cool with it because when they let him down, don't you come running back. Even your wife, that is a reason why your wife ain't ordered that Cowboys stuff. Remember that? Because she even knows how disappointing of a team that is. And we are the most realist fan base outside them delusional, crazy Cowboys fans who throw stuff at their own players last year. Remember that?
I tried it.
Remember
it didn't feel right. I've been secretly rooting for the Cowboys every week.
But then K-Walk, as soon as they lose, he gonna be a Saints fan then. So I ain't listen. Jay ain't got nothing to say
I
to
was
me.
too afraid to tell Britt K-Walk.
Jay, you could switch to whatever team. We don't need you. We've been here long before you was around. We're gonna be here long after you.
Jay, is it one of those things, Jay, where you saw the Cowboys in the mall, you like the way they looked, and it's like, why did I do that? Why did I let that go?
They got me, K-Walk. They got me, man. That star is too pretty, K-Walk. That star is too pretty.
Watch
man.
K-Walk. Watch mid-season. Watch. He gonna let it go. He be like, oh, I should have never left.
I think Jay's at the point of no return. I don't think Jay can come back from this one.
I can't go back now.
Yeah, please don't. We don't want you. We don't want you in Philly. We don't want you here.
All right, guys.
We gotta get to balling.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this thing up. Let's get to who's balling. Every single week, we like to shout out a player, a team, a coach, whatever you want to do. Just someone who's been doing a great job in our Who's Balling segment. Okay, Walk, I'm gonna start with you, man. A lot to choose from. We got college football, NFL, baseball season is in full swing, man. So who you got this week? Who's balling?
Hey, man, listen, I'm shouting out my alma mater, Lackawanna College, man. They won their 200th game this past weekend. They beat Queen City Collegiate Prep 88-0. I mean, man, they set so many they set so many records, man, for points of the game, margin of victory, shutout victory. The kicker had 11 extra points, man. So many games there. I mean, so many records there, man. Just a shout out to them. And what they're doing, coming off of a national championship run last year. They're honoring. I'm not just doing this because they're honoring me for 30 years. The next 2 weeks, I'll be down there for sure. But shout out to Lackawanna College football program. They are balling.
Good stuff, K-Walk. That's sweet, man. That's good stuff right there. It's always nice when they call you back and show you a little bit of love. So that's good stuff for sure. All right, Britne Jones, a lot to choose from. Your Phillies are on fire. Your Eagles are on top of the division. Sixers kicking off tonight. Who you got? Who's balling?
Hard because as you can see, the 4 teams, 6-0 Eagles, Phillies in the playoffs, Flyers started the season 2-0. Sixers just started this game, but they're up, not by much, but they're up as of right now. Basketball changed quick, so a lot to choose from. But I got to go back to my Eagles since I'm now officially the only true Eagles fan up here on this stage. So I got to represent for our city. Trust me, I don't leave, guys. Unlike Jay and his family, I don't leave the city. I don't. I stay. My heart is grounded right here in this city, okay? I'm not a traitor like nobody else, all right? Not a bandwagon. I'm a true fan. But I got to shout out, and this was hard because I was going to shout out C.J. Gardner-Johnson because he had 2 picks. But I think I got to shout out James Bradbury. James Bradbury had 3 tackles, probably a little bit more, and 4 passes defended, which 1 deflection actually led to a C.J. Gardner-Johnson interception and a 26-17 victory over the Dallas Cowgirls. So, James Bradbury, you were balling. I'm sorry, was the Cowboys balling this week? Go ahead, Jay. I'm waiting.
It's a long season, Britt. You gonna eat those words.
Michael Parsons. And I love Michael Parsons. No, I could talk because Cowboys fans been talking all year. They still talk. And you know that. They still talk. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna go in a different direction though. I was gonna go with a Cowboy, but I think I'm gonna go with Josh Allen, man. That game between the Chiefs and the Bills, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen going back and forth. Some of the plays that Josh Allen makes are just ridiculous. This man is 240 pounds, and I saw him hurdle someone. I mean, just outstanding. So for me, Josh Allen gets my who's balling this week because he's been absolutely out of his mind. All right, guys, we got to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. I see, Britt, these are probably some of your people in the comments talking about fly, Eagles, fly.
But Philly sticks together, unlike Cowboys fans.
But before we get out of here, guys, let's let everybody know where they can find you on social media so they can follow you so they can go back and forth. Guys, leave comments. Tell us what you thought of the show. Follow us on social media. Britt, also, what are you looking forward to this week? And tell the people where to find you.
I'm looking forward to what am I looking forward to? So much excitement on this show. I forgot what I was going to say.
Right.
No, but basketball season just started, so I'm getting ready to finish watching the Sixers Celtics game. I think the Sixers, they may be up. I know they were only up by 2 the last time I checked. Football, Thursday night football. I know Eagles have a bye week, but I love football in general. The Lakers, Warriors, and of course, Phillies are playing. So baseball playoffs is in. But you guys could follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Britne Monique. Is right there on my screen. Yeah.
All right, good stuff, Britt. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Just looking forward to all the sports. We got basketball kicking off, football, college football this weekend, more great games. I'm even going to watch a little bit of baseball as well now that we're kind of getting into the thick of the playoffs here. So this is a great time to be a sports fan. You guys can find me at Jason Talk Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, all the same at Jason Talk Sports. What about you, K-Walk?
Yeah, just like you guys, man. I'm looking forward to the opening night of basketball tonight. We got some good games, as Brett mentioned. We got Celtics and Sixers, and we got the Warriors and Lakers tonight. My Heat start off tomorrow night. You got the Yankees, my Yankees and Astros. Tomorrow night. Some payback is due for my Yankees, so looking forward to that. Britt mentioned the Thursday night game and the weekend as well. As far as where you can follow me, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we're live right now on Facebook. I just realized that. So you can catch me right here on Instagram. It's Kevin.Walker142 and Twitter at KevinWalker142. TikTok, I almost went there, Jay, this week when I was at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, man.
I almost went there, Jay. I almost went there, but I didn't. But nonetheless, at Kevin Walker 72 for sure.
All right, good stuff, K-Walk. Ladies and gentlemen, if you come across this show, if you're listening live right now and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you catch it later on in the week, hit that subscribe button. We'd appreciate your support. We thank you for listening to the Sideline Speaks. We'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. live. So for Britne Jones, Kevin Walker, I'm Jason Collins, and we'll see you next week.